welcome here.
Welcome. How was the big city, the big lights,
Oh man, double birthday parties for the boys, right? Their birthdays are 4 days apart, so it's like
oh geez.
mad scramble to get everything for both at once. So here we are, like 10 after 11. I just got done putting groceries away, but it's done.
Are you having a party and stuff?
Oh yeah, big time
Kids
party.
coming over?
Yeah, nothing huge. It's like probably 5 or 6 kids going to be here on the weekend. Should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and crazy. Well, there's enough snacks for like 6 months now, so I'm not
That's
overly
probably not
disappointed.
great for you. But yeah.
I know. I've never had more bags of chips in my house in my life.
Oh God.
It's because earlier I was like, I'm going to start getting healthy. It's like, oh, no, you're not.
A little trip to Costco.
Costco was fun. Yeah, I love Costco. You
That's
can always find a way to spend half your paycheck. It doesn't matter what you're after.
Yeah. Thankfully we don't have one nearby, so
That's even better.
I
That's
pay
right.
premium for my food, so
There you go. You do
got
pay
nothing at
premium
my
for your
house.
food. It's crazy. Makes me sad. Your grocery prices make me sad.
yeah, I like sending them to you. They crack me up.
Oh, some of them are horrible. It's like red pepper, $12.
Is it 3 of them are $6 or $7, something like that? It's like $2.50 a unit, something
Yeah.
like that. Oh man,
So you're all done drops. Is it
Pretty
all over?
much.
Or is there
no,
a couple more days?
it's actually still going. But I have this stupid thought in my head that I might just go live tonight,
Yeah.
but I don't also know. I don't think I will. I'm tempted to, but I'm not sure if it's the right play.
It's
So,
hard to say,
Yeah.
It's all what you feel you want to do. Some nights you just have to not. I find that too, right? But in some nights if you feel like doing it, just do it. It's one of
Yeah.
those, like, I find it, I don't know, I was thinking about it, and it comes down to, like, a lot of this is, is one night going to make or break what you're trying to do, kind of thing, one way or another, whether you have a short stream and it's not up to your standards, or if you skip one because you're too tired or something, like, is it honestly going to make or break you? You know what I mean? And I don't think it is. And that's like last night I was like, do I short stream for a couple hours just for shits, or do I not, because I'm worried that the numbers might look different because I'm on an hour shorter, right?
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to whatever you want to do.
Sometimes it can go either way, because last night turned out pretty good for you. At
Yeah.
first it was kind of weird because you were on like late. People didn't like, they kind of like blue screened, like didn't understand.
No, and people have, they found somewhere to hang out at that point, and I understand that, if you're not
Yeah.
around when you say you were, they're going to find somewhere to go, and that's
Mhm.
is what it is. I'm the one that's late. It's not my fault, or it's not their fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I find it sometimes, I'm really learning, like, as we go through the seasons with this, like, there's different things going on. Winter, it's like, everybody's inside, it's calm, it's cold, nobody wants to do anything, there's none of this stuff, so you have time, you're at your PC like a half an hour or whatever before you go on, you get time to set up, yada yada. And then it's switching into, we're moving into spring now, and it's like, shit, like, the sun's still up, there's still stuff going on, we're still out on the deck, we're still doing this, we're still doing that. I was more rushed. I find myself like down here like 5 minutes before I start now. I'm like trying to just open everything up. So it's kind of interesting, and I do think that has a bit to do with us having an appropriate climate to realize these changes and stuff like that too. But yeah, it's an interesting transition in the seasons here for this as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean it's growing increasingly. Well, it's increasingly more difficult for us to get online for like 3 good full streams uninterrupted. And that's just because Canada's a bitch, and like the winters are bad, and then all of a sudden it gets really nice out and people come out of their caves and their dens and they want to do things again. So it's
And I find, like, we never really, not that we get into the whole COVID talk around here, but just it affects it as well now that it's kind of, at least in my province anyway, it's kind of easing up a bit, so there's more opportunity to actually do things you enjoy for longer periods of time. So it's like, something's got to give somewhere. So this, like, I know both of us talk about it, this kind of this change in season here, and in between like some of the things that we've got going on, I find it harder and harder to stick to a commitment. So it's kind of like you gotta do what's best for yourself, but you also got to try to give the people that care to watch you and do that some sort of, like we talked about in earlier episodes, like schedule is still important, but where I know like myself, I can feel mine altering a little bit just with what's going on, and I want to try to do that in a way that's best for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the kind of like anticipate it versus like just randomly being
Yeah,
late multiple days or whatever it might
exactly.
be.
That's yeah. So
Yeah.
screw up every night and show up half an hour later, 45 minutes later, early one night, or not do it, or realize that maybe you'd need to make some adjustments, because I think there is a bit of fluidity to this too, right? Like the
Yeah.
times that I stream, like we'll talk about me for example, and for you, like there's set times, but we made those up. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah.
the boss came in and was like, this is your schedule, this is what you're sticking to. Like we made up those times, we picked those days, and we do that. So there is ability to, make it flexible back and forth, or maybe a little less, maybe a little more, however you want. Now that's going to affect your viewership, obviously, and people's availability and stuff like that, but that just, it is what it is. As we sit here, especially like I know you and I are talking about, we're at, we've got some pretty turbid stuff going on in our lives too. So when you've got all of that around you, and then you're trying to focus in and like, oh, I have to be down there for 9 o'clock, or I have to do this, it's not good for your mental health either. When you start to, things that you enjoy start to become a chore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not what I want it to turn into.
Yeah, and I think too, like as much as you'd love to treat it like a job, it also doesn't pay you like a job, at least not yet. So
Yeah.
I always go through this like mental war where it's like, well, if you want it to be a job eventually, you're gonna have to treat it like a job now. But it's like, man, I have a job now and I have a life, and and with you, it's like I have a job, I have kids, I have this, and it's
Yeah.
like it's this internal war. And it's like when I told you, I think like a month ago, I was like, I'm starting to see how people tap out, and they're like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yep.
And for better or for worse, they kind of like maybe they saw the light in another avenue, and they're like, you know what? Maybe if I did this, that would be cool. I'd have so much free time. I can still play games. Maybe they decide to just do YouTube, or maybe they just tap out entirely, but they might have come to a kind of like their ultimate conclusion that they were like, you know what? Maybe my life isn't that bad the way it was, And
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
it.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I was thinking about this on the way home. I was like, I wonder what we're going to talk about. And I wonder, because you said we don't like this. I just realized my hat's the wrong way. This is going to screw people up. But anyway,
Oh, well.
I just, first time I looked at myself. But I thought about it, and I'm like, you can think about this kind of in three different, not three different ways, lots of different ways. But like, are you, for me, like I'm talking to myself, am I doing this for fun? Am I doing this because I want to make something out of it, or am I doing it for fun and also, using it as like a supplementary income to try to prove that I can, kind of do something on the side? And I'm like, I don't know what one of those three am I doing, because I have fun a lot of the times. I do enjoy trying to make it productive and something that, I do feel like I get something out of it. If I see results, if I see that I've gained viewers, or I've gained this, or I've made a little bit of money, like it feels good for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or am I treating it too much like it's my career right now? And that's the other thing, right? So I think that one
True.
of the things that you got to go back to, if you want it to work at all in whatever facet you want it to work, whether it's for fun, playing games with friends, you want it to be a career, you want it to be your part-time job on the side, you want it as a project for your own self-satisfaction, like you got to strip it right back, and you got to enjoy it first. You got to enjoy what you're doing, and then when those avenues present themselves, you make it what it is. But I think sometimes we get, it's like the cart ahead of the horse thing, right? Like, I have to treat this like I only want it to be my career for the rest of the time, so I'm mad when things don't go my way, and I'm this and that. Or do we say, all right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do my stream, I'm going to have a good time, and whatever comes of it, then you adjust as it goes, right? So I think there's a bit of a refocusing for me, trying to align myself so that I'm still enjoying what I'm doing, because I take a lot of pride in it, and I want it to succeed in a way that it makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a lot of verbal diarrhea there, but that's just kind of what was going on in my head.
It makes sense though. Like it's really difficult to not take it personally.
Yep.
When like let's say you I mean, theoretically, somebody quits their job and they're like, I'm gonna go full time YouTube and Twitch. Then it's the fun kind of gets cut out a little bit because then you fucking need it. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's not, you don't want it. Like, we want it, we want
Yeah.
it to work. And we, like, for me right now, it's kind of like, man, if it can pay for the fancy things that I've bought, like my camera and stuff like that, then that's cool. Anything after that, like, we keep reinvesting and we see what happens. But it's different when, yeah, like you said, it's like, it's different if you see it like it is a job, because then you're kind of on the back foot and you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, this stream had 5 less people than the last one.
You'll start to treat those little subtle things that bother you about your real job that you're trying to escape at your house. You'll now take that into your realm of enjoyment, right? Like, what do we do? Like, for me, like, what do I do for fun? I play sports and I play video games. You know what I mean? So now, if I treat it too much, like you said, like, oh, I'm 5 viewers short, or I'm 100 views less than I was the other day, am I enjoying my time playing games? You know what I mean? That's why off nights are important for me too, because I just do my thing with my friends. I just veg out, right? But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you gotta see where it goes. There's a guy, Pipeline did a podcast with him, Good Game Bro. He's on Facebook. He's got a bunch of followers. I'll find the link for you. Like, he's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He streams at night. He still works a full-time job, and he's got hundreds of thousands of followers, and he's a huge streamer on Facebook. But he's like, for me, this is still, I still like getting up. I still like going to my job. I still like coming home and, putting my kids to bed and then streaming at night for a couple hours. Like, that's his thing. Yeah. So there's this dude, I was like, wow, like, this is kind of cool. Like, it just shows you, like you said, he doesn't want it to be his full-time gig. And I actually saw that he just left a job, and I think he's like he's working for another, I can't remember what it is, but he just got a job with a game developer. So he's still working a full-time job and streaming, and that's what works for him. The dude makes enough money off it that he could obviously be full-time for forever if he wanted to, but he doesn't, because for him it's still something he does on the side for enjoyment, right?
Yeah.
But he talks about, like, having fun doing it, and that's I think the point. If you're not having fun doing it and it's not your job, like, do I have fun at my job? Absolutely not. Do I show up every day? Yes, it's my job.
Yeah.
It's what pays the bills, right? So why are you showing up if you're not at least getting some sort of satisfaction out of it, if it's not something you're doing that you're forced to do? Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, interesting kind of like hybrid models that you don't hear about when it comes to, like, streamers. Like Flotsam, for example. I don't know what he does, but if I had to wager a guess, I think he's some sort of UI or graphic designer or media guy, or somebody who at least takes interest in that, because he has his own website. Like, he has the Gold Rush timer now for Sea of Thieves, and I'm like,
it's cool too.
And he's like, I made all my own emotes. I bought the font. I picked my colors. I made my whole theme. He did all that himself, right? Yeah. All of his scene transitions, all that stuff is done by him. And so yeah, like, even with him, he's doing really, really, really well. But you almost wonder if, like, as you've said before, like, kind of like streaming is the side dish, and he probably enjoys what he's doing. So there may not be that question of, oh, maybe I do go full time. There's another
pressure,
guy.
Yeah, the pressure's not there. No, go ahead. That's all I was going to say.
Just going to say, I'm not 100% sure on this one, but Mr. Dorpax, my brother Mike, told me this. He said, Boxy Fresh, who is on Sea of Thieves as well, he's like in the 2,000 to 3,000 viewer range, like, at all times.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Mike was saying that he is a nurse at night, and he still works. Like, he's got a nursing degree, and he goes to work, and then he'll stream for 5 or 6 hours I think he streams like 4 days a week. And then, because I've heard him say before, well, I had to go to work, and he was saying the story was like at night, like, I had to go to work. So I'm pretty sure he works as some sort of nurse at night, and then he comes back to streaming in the daytime. And, like, yeah, like,
that's cool. Yeah.
The be all and the end all of, like, this kind of industry may not be what people think it is, especially because I think it's evolving really quickly too, right? Like, who is it that has good points about this? Oh, Harris Heller has really good points about, he's like, every platform is going to have a streaming component, like, you see it. I talked about this the other day with somebody, like, all these music producers are starting to stream on Twitch, right? They got millions of dollars. Why are they doing that? They're doing that because they realize that this is just starting for the mainstream people. Streaming is just starting for people. So I think it's going to adapt and it's going to evolve. And that's where Twitch needs to step up to the plate, because a lot of mainstream people are going to start stepping into this. You got guys in the NBA, they're making 5, 10, $15 million a year. It's like Lando Norris. Lando Norris is a Formula One driver. He's playing with Dr. Lupo a couple of weeks ago, sponsored by Gillette. The guy makes $20 million a year.
Yeah.
But he's on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And he's got 15,000 subs on Twitch or whatever it might be. And this might be a long rant, but my point is that people are going to start seeing that things like streaming is just one of many different facets of your online presence. And that's what it's going to turn into, right? So
yeah, that's like you see now, like TikTok, for people with 1,000 followers can now stream live on TikTok. So people with millions and millions of followers that could have had a problem bringing them over to Twitch or bringing them to YouTube can now stream right on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like T-Pain streams on Twitch.
That's who was,
Yeah, so Avij was like, man, you got to check out T-Pain streams. They're awesome. Doesn't Soulja Boy stream now? I'm pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure Logic, I'm pretty sure Logic stopped putting out music and just streams now. And was like, I'm pretty sure it's funny because it started out as gaming, right? Like when you used to think like streaming, you'd be like, oh yeah, you're thinking like Shroud, and you're thinking like Ninja playing Fortnite and all that stuff, right? Like that's what you think about. It's not so much gaming at all now anymore. Like you said, there's music on there. There's people doing sports. There's people just doing talk shows, or people talking finance, or people like, it's just an avenue that the pandemic has also kind of juiced up, because we've realized that, you know, there is, for all of the non-gamers and all of that existed before the world shut down, you realize a lot more that like this through here to here is a lot more personal than a lot of people thought before. Like we all understood from back in the good old days, like the Xbox parties when we were 12, you know what I mean? And that's, it's live streaming, or being live from a PC to people or from a phone to people, is just, like you said, a growing medium. That doesn't just mean you're playing video games anymore. So yeah, you're going to start to see people want to capitalize on it because there's an avenue for success there.
Yeah, for sure. I was just thinking for some reason about the failure that is Instagram Live, like how that's kind of like, you've got Facebook gaming and Facebook owns Instagram, but Instagram Live is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like compared to what it could be. I just don't see it as a...
No.
Doesn't get the full picture, does it?
No, and Instagram, like to me, Instagram's a picture app. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even
kind of
when
dying.
like even when they had like all of a sudden you could put longer videos, but you had to click to watch them. Like that makes me mad. I'd rather just watch it on Facebook or watch it on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like it's weird because Instagram, to me, like I much prefer it to Facebook, because you can't talk as much. There's not as much going on. It's just a picture of something and a link, right?
Yeah.
I like that. And I find out like I don't like reels. I don't really care for reels. I don't find them as intriguing as watching like TikToks or YouTube shorts or anything like that. But yeah, it's weird. Like it just, I don't know. It never really, it's like the fancy photo editor side of Facebook is always kind of what it's been, right? And it's almost like it's kind of stuck there. I don't know. I don't use it that much for gaming anymore. I did at the beginning because it was the only one I knew, but now I'm like, it's not really there. It's not doing much for me.
Yeah, I mean, if we were doing if this was a full-time gig, I think we'd be on all platforms, right?
Sure.
But then you're using tools. Don't forget, these people are there's tools that will log into all your platforms, and they can upload the same thing, and they can schedule and all this stuff. So there's a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to online presence. You know, like, oh, all of a sudden you have a Facebook page and that's posting too. It's like, yeah, of course it's on these managed dashboards and someone else is looking after it. Like, you really think
social media managers and stuff, right?
Of course, yeah.
I don't know what I just said. I tried to say social media. I think I said sociedia. We'll have to check there, but yeah.
It sounded like social media managers.
For me, like, if I have enough time to post in my own Discord and on my own Twitter, and then somehow remember to hop over to your Discord where most of my friends are and post there, like, that is enough for me. By that point, I'm like, holy shit, I do not want to see another social media site going into Twitch's dashboard and changing my title and then making sure it changed in OBS, and then it didn't, so I have to go back and change it and then posting I'm live here. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that on TikTok and on Instagram and on Snapchat and on whatever the hell else, Facebook, and on this and that. It's just, I'm not at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is it? Streamcord, that bot that Mr. Newberg's
Yeah,
Gunny put in. That's kind
yeah.
of neat.
Thank God. I know.
Fucking, I know.
He,
I was like, I love you. I sent
I
them like,
know.
so I put this in so it tells them when you go live. I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Thank you.
I
Like,
know. And he told me that like 3 months ago, and I was finally like, all right. I'm like, okay. It's like I'm cracking. I'm finally like, let's. And then it took 45 seconds to set up, and I didn't do anything. Like Gunner did it
yeah,
all. So I'm like, there. Thank God.
yeah.
But
You can link your Streamlabs, like your OBS, to your Twitter, but I don't know.
I
I feel like it's kind of spammy. It's like
Yeah, and I don't like that. Like you have to. There's a benefit there because a lot of people are on Twitter, sure, but I don't like that you have to go in and like customize the settings to post a different. If you want it to say something different every time, because if you don't, it posts the same message every time. And for me, that's just not. I'm like, I don't know. It's just this because then I can like sometimes I'm like, I don't know if this meant like today or yesterday or the day
yeah,
after. Do you know what I mean? And that's not the streamer's fault. That's just the poor integration. I
yeah,
think, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't have time to go in and make a custom Twitter post every time and stuff like this. But when it says the same thing, like, you know, if I'm like, hi, it's Father Millennial going live again. And then the next day it's like, it's Father Millennial, I'm going live right now. And you look and you click like, and then I get a notification that you liked a post of mine from 3 days ago. And I'm like, what the hell is that? But it was the
yeah.
exact same tweet that, you
Hmm.
know, so it's cool. I just don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's ideal. I think there could be some work done to that system on Streamlabs' behalf or
Yeah.
OBS's behalf.
I think they're definitely a bit clunky, and they're still, yeah, there's still a lot of fine tuning to do for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know, like even like with us in between the lives, like if you take a step back and you think about how we're able to integrate between the lives with our Twitch, for example, like we have to like spam our chat with links. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no like I don't know. It goes back to that rant before. Like, there's no unity to any of this. So it's
No.
like I can post an Anno video and get almost 2,000 views, and then I post it between the lives and we're getting 59 in a week. You know, and
I know.
that's fine, and I get it, and I'm willing to take the hit because I know that this is probably not going to make money for a long time. Or at least pay for itself, for God's sakes. Can somebody buy one of our mugs? Every mug you buy pays for 4 episodes. I wanted to say that before. If you buy one of the Between the Lives mugs, I should have gotten one here, but
See, damn, we
basically,
should have put this at the start.
we'll cut this, put it at the start, and then we'll put it here again. But yeah, if you buy a mug, I believe it pays for 4 episodes, if not 6 episodes, because I think they're $15, but I think Stream Elements takes 5. So
I should
yeah,
buy
I
a
end up
mug.
with $10. So anyway, yeah, I just find it's so tough to like integrate your shit. You know, like you have teams on Twitch. Yeah, that's cool. Like you're on a team, but like I was thinking about it when I joined like the Sloth crew, and I was thinking, how many team links have I even fucking clicked in my life? Like I've been on Twitch for like fucking 6 years, and
No, it's all we all put in the work to do that. Like Avich had to build in all of those because obviously like a lot of it trickled down from him, right? But him and Foxy had to like build all of those links in because there is no way for him to even like he started this team, he brought it together, he invited everybody, but there's no automatic way that it fires out stuff to people. He still had to be like, this is my team, these are my people, go check them. And Foxy or I'm always myself have to shout it every time someone comes in because there's just no it's there. We're a team. We're all, you know, we're all friends. We talk in the Discord and stuff like that. But Twitch does nothing for us
yeah,
except put the name below the stream. You know what I mean? And that's the
hmm
same with any of the teams. Twitch doesn't. I find Twitch doesn't go out of its way to help anybody with anything because what we're talking about. You know, it would be cool if we had like a BTL thing on Twitch that was right here and people could hover over us and click it and
yeah,
go to the podcast. But you know, the only thing that they can do that for on Twitch. Twitch Prime reminders, right? Amazon Prime Gaming. They can put a little thing that goes over my face that you can click and remind you that you can use a free sub through another one of their programs. You know what I mean?
yo, yeah. You
There
mean
is.
the card?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine having those for your website or for like your social, like you can on YouTube at the end of a video when the cards pop up. Imagine that on Twitch. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
They it's such a hard, because that's what you said, like the community aspect and the chat and the like the bits and the gifted subs and all that is just awesome, like irreplaceable stuff. But then the everything around it is just like they were like,
It's like if
whatever.
yeah, it was like somebody's Friday and they were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah,
Do you want to
exactly.
double tap your voice mod? I think we're back on the voice mod-a-roni.
Cool if
good?
we are. It
There,
doesn't say
there.
I am. Did it change anything?
Yeah, you're good now.
Awesome.
It's fine.
That
We're
keeps
in a-
people coming. You know what I mean?
It does.
We're here
If
for
you've
the
made it
memes.
this far, then you got an
It's
Easter egg,
true.
we'll call it. But yeah, exactly. It wasn't that one though. It was like
That's even weirder.
it was like a creepy, like it's almost like a phasmophobia, like microphone voice. What it is,
I don't even
freaking me out.
I don't even know. I don't even have that built in. I don't know. We'll just
I don't know.
whatever.
Now I'm scared.
I don't even think I clicked voice mod to be my input when I came in here. Like I just think I clicked the mics. I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
like I
either.
told you, it lives rent free in my head. Like
It has
my
its
brain.
own-
There's voice
it-
mods in the back of my cerebrum there somewhere.
It's
Like
sentient.
Venom. Yeah, exactly. It's like Venom in the movie. We can do whatever we want. I think
Oh,
I said
yeah.
I think I said that last time I did this, which is creepy. Almost like it's conditioning me. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you have anything to add. I don't want to keep you up too late, to be honest.
No, I'm all good. I just wanted to have a chat. I was legitimately
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I was like shit, I'm super late and all this. But you know what? We said we'd squeeze them out when we can, and it's usually when the best stuff pops out. I honestly don't care if one
Yeah.
person watches this. I don't care if it's me watching it. Being like,
Yeah.
yep, cool, good point. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
I think
just
it's
a
fun
nice
to put them
feeling.
together. I've started to like enjoy putting them together and stuff.
Great practice for that.
Yeah. And I'm getting better with my own stuff too, and most of that is just from doing the between the live stuff. So at the very least, this is like a kind of like a good way to get into DaVinci Resolve and stuff. I mean, I'm still not good, but I know how to at least stitch something together and, you know, upload it. So I'll take it.
People who have never done it think you're good. So there's that angle. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, he's getting good at this. And
There's so many barriers, right? It's like,
yeah.
what do I do? And like, how do you put an image on a screen, or like, you know, how do you know, put text on a page? And there's so many things that I see now in people's videos that I'm like, holy shit, how did he do that? Like, which I would have never thought of before because it was just so unattainable. But at least now I kind of understand, you know, a couple of the little processes, I guess we'll say, which
It's
goes
a
back to one of our podcasts.
Yeah, it's a scary interface. Resolve is like you open it up and it's like all the tools are like like right in your face.
Oh man,
like it's,
yeah. There's like
like-
400 buttons on the main page. Like,
they're like, drop your fucking video. I'm like, I don't know where to drop it. Like, what the? It's just
Yeah.
crazy. And then you accidentally get on the blade cut and start cutting up your whole thing by mistake. And you're like, oh my god. I just
Yeah.
I
the
just
video
didn't,
starts at
I
1,
didn't have
2.
the patience. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's talk about that one.
Yeah. So dumb.
Anyway, I'm glad you do it. You're good at it. And like you said, I'm in charge of
getting there.
props, even if there's no props.
Apparently, DaVinci Resolve is like heavily used in Hollywood.
I can see that.
Like for actual legit movies, like they use Resolve, which is nuts. And then they also there's a bunch of guys that use Blender, which is like CGI software. That's also
Okay.
open source. There's a guy I'll have to send you. I don't know his name, but he's like super talented. I think it's like Ian Hubbard or something. Super talented CGI guy, and he'll just take like some picture of something and he's like, let's make it all 3D, and he just like cuts out every single little book on like on your shelf, for example. He cuts out every little book and then he makes them all individual. He'll make your Groot 3D, and then he has your whole bookshelf as an object, so then he can take your bookshelf and place it into other scenes, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like if you create an object properly, you have it forever. So then he's like, you can make 10 bookshelves, and then he'll just like line them all up and be like, look, now you have a library. And like, he's a really fast talking guy, but the videos are like so crazy. You're like, man, like that's nuts that he can take a flat photo and make it 3D from cutting it and using the proper depth planes, I guess we'll call them, to actually get an actual 3D space. It's nuts.
Nice. That's
But, yeah.
You guys make fun of me for those Azeron things that I want. Did you know what they're most popularly used for? Video editing.
Really?
Yeah, because there's so many macros at your fingertip that they don't have to like switch all through it. So I'm like, I want to see like a hand cam of someone editing a video with one of these things.
Oh no.
It's growing.
boy.
It's coming. There's going to be one on this desk here sometime.
Have you leaked to the public yet that you're potentially going to play another game?
Not really. I put a new channel in my Discord that's called The Other Game. So I did say that there'd probably be something new coming up. So yeah, I mean, we're playing a new game on Sunday.
There we go.
Good time. I'm excited. So
there's your leak for somebody who made it 30 minutes into the podcast.
That's true. That's the Easter egg at the
She'll
very
be about
end.
3 people. So
yeah, exactly.
Welcome in, folks. Me, hello.
Yeah, Remick, I'm playing a new game on Sunday. Avija playing a new game on Sunday. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm gonna re-listen to this so that I can hear myself say that you should enjoy what you're doing, and then realize that even if I do it for 3 viewers, I'm playing a game I really like, and I'm just gonna have fun playing it. So
yeah,
that's my idea for Sunday.
Yeah, because the alternative is like you're not having fun, and then people notice it, and then they're not having fun, so they leave. So it's like,
there you go. Whole episode right there summed up. Boom. Just
cut
that 1 5 seconds.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. Throw away the other half.
It's a balancing act for sure, right?
It is.
It's a weird one.
It is.
And that's why I have to give the nod to people that are going 5, 6, 7 days a week, just streaming. Like you're an animal. Yeah. Not saying that we might not have to do that for some stint or a stream for 4 days or whatever, but goddamn. Like
putting in work.
Landmark on Twitch. I don't know if you watch him, but
yeah,
I think he's missed in a year and a half. I think he's missed like 2 days.
Crazy. And he's playing a hard, aggravating game.
Ridiculous, yeah. But I mean, his viewer count shows it, and I think for him, he's a smart dude. He's like an accountant, or he was. He owned his own business and stuff. So I think he's thinking, I've got a few good years. I'm gonna bang this out, and then take all that money and just run, baby, and just reinvest. That's what I think.
Play Tarkov again.
Yeah, that's what I can see him doing. So
yeah,
we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can see. Like I was listening to a podcast, and he was saying, if you've got something good going, chances are it's probably going to last up to a maximum of about 10 years, and then you just fade away. Look at Skrillex. Like, look what happened to Skrillex, man. Like, Jesus. Like, that guy was, like, everywhere. Everybody fucking knew who Skrillex was.
2010 or 9,
yeah.
10? Yeah, it was like he blew up and was everything. It was everything. Yeah. He's gone. Even, like,
he's on a movie. He did an album for, like, Tron? Is it Tron or some other movie?
Daft Punk did Tron.
Sorry, Daft Punk did Tron, but he did something else for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll have to look it up.
Even like I'll catch a lot of I won't catch any shit for this because it's on this. But even like Justin Bieber's gone. Really, I mean, he still makes songs and stuff, but Justin Bieber was the world for about 10 years.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years.
Now he's a zillionaire. He can do whatever he wants anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
yeah, but then there's there's the alternative. You can end up looking like Macaulay Culkin, like a crackhead who's just like probably actually smokes crack. I don't know. But like he looks like shit, and like he had like
show. We'll bring him.
Let's get him on here.
Yeah.
He'll probably get on here.
Yeah,
what do you think? $500?
Yeah, exactly.
I bet he'd show up for $500.
It probably would. Yeah.
What is that? Like 15 grams?
Home Alone watch party? Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the point is like once you do, I was just gonna say like if you do start zeroing in on it, you do have a limited amount of time to actually do something. So, some people take it and run, and other people, go slow, and that might be the response. The response might be slow as well, and that's fair enough. So, because otherwise you just go crazy, going 5 days a week, ruin your marriage, your kids leave you. You're left in this house with the purple light, buddy.
Yeah, at least we got the purple light. It'd be going
it's just me, Groot, and the purple
lights. Yeah, sad lights. Yeah, Groot's still here. Groot never leaves.
Yeah. Oh man, it's true though, man. Yeah. Think about that with like my dad's business, right? It had 5 or 10 good years, like there was a couple years where he's making probably 200, 300 grand a year, but then that goes away and you start spending it all, and then you're back at ground zero if you don't strategize.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
that's a whole other podcast, I guess, but
yeah, really,
that's the truth of it, man. Is like you start to realize what I've thought before is you're only really given a finite amount of opportunities in life, I think. Good ones,
Yeah.
And if you decline them, whether whether you actively decline them or they are declined to you, that like that's, you know, those ones that you have control over, that's on you, and then that's it, man. Like like that's it. Like, sorry,
You're
but
looking back on them, and that's
welcome to fucking life, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm swearing a lot in this episode, but it's almost 9 at night on a Friday, and I haven't had a cider, and I'm just like, look at this. Look at this. No, I'm kidding.
10 to 12. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Whatever though. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, it's 10 to 12. I haven't gone to
Ooh,
bed before
goodness.
like 1 in the morning in like 6 years. But anyway, oh my goodness,
I haven't
it's
cranked
getting
the
late.
clock.
Yeah,
The Big Ben has to be cranked at midnight.
that's so true. I've still got
grandma
2
had one of
hours of
those.
leaning in the kitchen before I go to bed.
Complaining to myself in the kitchen with the dim light above the stove.
Eating popsicles. Yes.
Very carefully.
Yes.
Oh, man. Okay. Let's cut her here for now.
That's all I've got. Yeah.
That's all I got. That's the end of my theatrics.
Now, what did we learn today?
What have we learned? It's okay to be a lazy piece of shit.
There you go.
Between the
Exactly.
Lives, episode 12.
Yep,
I think it's
stitch
12.
that in. I don't know. Yeah, 12 or 13. Feels like
Yeah.
12.
Let's call it 12. We'll just call
It's
it
12 now.
12.1.
It's 12
It can be.
now, yeah.
It's like when they do revisions on like firewalls and computers and shit. They'll be like, "Oh, well, it's version 12.1."
Yeah,
so maybe this is
12.3.2.4.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you understand.
I get it.
Okay. Well, Between the Lives, episode 12, potentially 12.1. My name is Julian, also known as Mr. Elliott. Over there, we've got Nick, also known as Father Millennial. And we will catch you either on the next Between the Lives or we'll catch you on the next stream. Much love. Bye, guys.
See ya.